So now that we've reached the end of the workshop, where do we go from here? So by the end of this lesson, you will have completed the goal setting workshop, and we'll talk about now what. So at this point, you have an opportunity to make your goals and follow the cycle. Make your goals, follow track, establish your one time, establish your ongoing, achieve your goal or don't achieve your goal, and then reset a new goal next year. And that cycle will continue. You'll have access to this course for life, and you can come back and retake this every single year. This workshop has made a huge difference in my life, and I want it to make a huge difference in yours. So it'll be available, and if I make any updates to it, you'll have access to those as well. So this is what you have ahead of you. The secrets to success that I've found for those who embrace the goal setting workshop, it's first, give yourself permission to do the workshop. And it sounds weird, but you actually have to tell yourself, I want to do this, and I've got to make time. I've got to carve it out to do it. If you'll do that and you'll really follow through on the exercises, like I said, the results make this addictive. You'll be like, wow, if I got this much success this time, how much will I get next time and next time and next time? I've shared with you some of the differences it's made in my life, both in relationships, in finances, in my son's education, my son's rearing. We all have challenges in our life, and I'm no different. My wife and I have had challenges. My family and I have had challenges, and the goal setting helps us really get control of of any of those situations and improve it. It's not perfect, but it gets better, and incremental is great. Incremental change is the best kind of change, in my opinion. Where we create a habit of weekly review of ongoing success factors, that is going to be, if you can build that habit, all the other habits will be so much easier because your natural tracking will tell you where you're off track and on track every single week. So if you can establish a habit that you want to hyper focus on, do the tracking habit in order to have the most success. If you come back and review all of your goals, you're not a company, you're not a corporation. So doing quarterly reports is not something I expect you to be able to do, where on March 31st, I do a review check-in. I've got people that are that checklist driven that they are doing that, and they have a lot of success in the goal setting exercises. But for most of us, we don't operate that way. So I encourage you to start finding things in your own life that allow you to trigger. 4th of July, for whatever reason, it's right in the middle of the year. It's always been an easy trigger for me to say, where am I at against my goals? I also use Christmas or New Year's because it's right at the end of the year. How did I do against my goals right as I'm getting ready to set new goals? And then I find birthdays or anniversaries that fall near March 31st, near September 30th, so that I'm quarterly checking in on myself to see how am I doing against my goals. So I encourage you to find the things that just naturally occur that become natural reminders. Oh yeah, when I buy so-and-so's birthday gift, that's also a reminder that I need to go check in on my goals and see how I'm doing. If you're checking yourself quarterly, it's even harder to get off track. So if you haven't created the weekly habit of checking your ongoing goals, at least quarterly you can get back on the horse and make sure you're managing towards succeeding in the goals that you've set. You took time to say these are important. You've got to take time to track them all the way to completion. So here's some of the further reading that I recommend for you. If you're interested, the first 20 hours is all about incremental improvement. It talks about the big gap we learn, the big gap we cover early on, and then we plateau, and then it's about incremental improvement from that point on. Obviously, Stephen Covey's if you haven't heard of Stephen Covey, I'm sorry, and you're welcome. Please read that book first if you haven't already read Stephen Covey, because he was a master of helping you be more effective as a person and helping you understand what's most important in life. Making habits and breaking habits was another good way to find new ways to create the habits. There's some good ideas in that book that I haven't covered in this course that might be better for you than what I've already shown you. Rick Pitino's Success is a Choice shows you how to win no matter what the odds. It's putting successes in your control, and it's also about how you're defining success, what matters to you. Success for a lot of people on the outside looking in is people impressing that success that they think you're having. So when you see somebody win a pro sports championship, that's people putting that success on, and maybe those athletes at that moment don't feel like that's the real success that they felt. Winning the championship was nice, but maybe they had something else that mattered to them more about the success factor they were tracking. So what got you here won't get you there just talks about how successful business people, some of the methodologies they've used in order to not take their current skill set, but how they developed new skill sets to grow. And as you continue to improve on what you define as success, you're going to outgrow your current self. And this is a good book to open your eyes to future development for you. Atomic Habits we've talked about. Again, James Clear doesn't take credit for habit stacking, but if you Google search, he gets all the credit for habit stacking, so good for him. But he'll be the first to tell you he didn't invent that. He's just popularized it. I talked about Dr. Amen and Change Your Brain, Change Your Life, his one-page goal setting. All of his books are very good and very educational on brain health. And that sounds weird, but it's really not. I recommend it for anybody that's not even into scientific reading on how he uncovers through brain scans some of the interesting facts that can help you where you don't have to have a brain scan to understand where maybe your brain needs some development and can get there through certain dietary supplements or things like that that can help improve your brain health. Very interesting reads of all of his books. Cassie Holmes is one of my newest favorite authors, Happier Hour, and her understanding of truly defining happiness for oneself is just amazing. I really encourage you to embrace what she has to say on the topic of just happiness in general. She really gives a different perspective that I have never heard, and I love it. I love it. Just how she goes about how she looks at life is just a wonderful thing. And then Who's Got Your Back by Keith Ferrazzi is just an excellent book on networking. When we're talking about the goals, we've identified the people that can help us get better. He also wrote a book called Never Eat Alone, and he talks about how he utilizes going to dinner and lunches with people to learn from them and understand things, but he's very prepared when he goes into those conversations about what he wants to know and what he wants to learn. And then he's also very quick to share information that they want from him. And I think it's good that if you're going to sit down with people and say, I think you're a really wonderful parent, and I would like to learn from you about how your parenting style and how your philosophy, I really respect how you are in a career, or how you are with your mental health or your physical health, or whoever you're targeting in your roles on who you think would be a good mentor for you to learn from and what you define as success, that they kind of, when you close your eyes and dream of success in a role, this is the person that comes to mind. That's the person you want to sit down with. And Keith Ferrazzi has some interesting ideas about how to go about those conversations and building those relationships further. And last but not least, I want to give a very special shout out to Jeff Lovejoy. This was a gentleman who I consider a mentor and who originally put together the original of the goal setting workshop. And it's what got me involved in it to where I embraced it so much. He was kind enough to hand it off to me to continue to improve it and make it better and allow me to get it out there to the masses. Jeff has since written the book Commence, which is an excellent graduation gift. It's an excellent read, even if you're not a recent graduate. It just sums up life in a very easy to read format. Something your graduating senior of either college or high school probably doesn't want to partake in another book. This will be right up their alley. It's that easy of a read for them, and it's something they can take over time in little nuggets. Along that same path, Jeff has got a YouTube channel called Leader Quips, which I definitely recommend any of you that are career driven to take up and watch. They're very short clips. I think the longest one I've seen is about 5 minutes. And he's got many, many videos out there on his YouTube channel talking about just leadership awareness and good leadership guidance. Jeff's a servant leader, always has been. And I'm fortunate enough that I got to meet him and learn the goal setting workshop. If you noticed and paid attention through the section in the workshop where we were doing tactical, the one-time and ongoing pieces that are identified, that process, there's a footnote in there that shows that was Jeff Lovejoy's process. While Jeff borrowed many things from people like Stephen Covey and others, and Zig Ziglar, people like that are out there that have come before us, Jeff really built a process that I've yet to see be replicated. And Jeff was kind enough to give me permission to use that process because I've not found a better one since. There's been a lot of parts of this workshop that I've been able to change and tweak and find better methodologies for as time goes on, including possibly fast goals may replace smart goals. We'll see over time. But Jeff's process for identifying one-time goals and ongoing goals, as well as breaking them down into daily, weekly, monthly, and then giving them priority, I've yet to find a better way to do that. So Jeff, thank you for that. And please follow him. The links are down below for buying his book, as well as finding his YouTube channel for Leader Quips. So please check him out. So in conclusion to the workshop, first and foremost, thank you for taking the time with this course. This course has meant a ton to me. It's changed my life dramatically. And I really hope that you find even 100th or 1,000th of what I got out of it, I hope you get out of it as well. I wanted to give this back to the community to start utilizing as they can, and I hope you're able to take something valuable away from it. The workshop has been invaluable to me, and my wish is that it helps you in many of those ways that it's helped me. So good luck to you, and I hope you accomplish your goals. Reach out to me on email. All my contact information is in the sections below in resources. Reach out if you have any questions. Let me know if I can help with wordsmithing or any of the habits that you're struggling with forming. I'm happy to help you with any parts of the workshop that I can. Good luck to you, and I hope you achieve your goals.